iRacing is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all around the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics, engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 170,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsports organizations like NASCAR to deliver virtual races based on the real-life NASCAR Cup Series, as well as many other series on the NASCAR ladder. iRacing also features team racing, providing a variety of options for members to create and manage their own teams. Race with friends or real-world teammates in full-length endurance events like the 24 Hours of Daytona, Spa 24, or the Bathurst 12-Hour. Additional partners include IMSA, World of Outlaws, Supercars, and IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own Indianapolis 500, Bathurst 1000, Chili Bowl, and many more iconic events. This is iRacing, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car. Sign up today at iRacing.com.
Welcome in, race fans, here to the Bristol Motor Speedway, the last great Coliseum. Tonight, we go racing here at the Bristol Motor Speedway. It is the Granny Hips, Buckley, Walker, and Kane 175 here tonight. And unfortunately, race fans, we're not racing Bristol on dirt. I know you see the concrete out there. I've pushed for weeks for all you race fans to get you an exciting race here at Bristol for this race, because not only is it Bristol, baby, it is the last race before we go to crown a champion this season. Buckle up, race fans, because it's about to get wild. We know one driver has already locked themselves in to the championship Final Four round, and that is DJ Anderson, as he locked himself in last week by being able to hang on to beat the 42 of Max Terriol. Just talking about DJ as he's locked in. Max is, of course, sitting just 4 points out of that championship spot. So actually, when you really break things down, these are the drivers that are in right now. It's DJ Anderson locked in, Max Terriol to second with Sean Single in third. James Skelton is right there on that cut line, and he is only up by 2 points over Jason Wells before it's a big drop-off. Chris Hammett, Eric Johnson, and Michael Trevarthen, they have a lot of ground to try and make up. It looks like 20 points, 22 points actually it is for Michael Trevarthen. Does not look like the driver of that 31 is here this weekend, but if he were to show up, it's 22 points for Michael Trevarthen. It would then be 20 points for Eric Johnson, and of course, it'd be 21 points actually for Chris Hammett. So there's a lot of room to make up for a couple of these drivers. Right now, we're looking at Jason Wells being the last driver that could possibly leapfrog his way in virtual of points coming into tonight. But boy, race fans, Monday night kicks off the racing week here on the Turn 3 Racing Network with the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. Are you in the market for a brand new sim rig? Well, it doesn't have to be iRacing either, race fans. You can get one for your flight simulator, and we have the perfect place to go. You need to head on over to RB Custom Rigs today and talk to Rick Bell and get you one of these iRacing simulators all set up and ready to go, shipped to your house to get on track next season with Red Light Racing. Head on over to RB Custom Rigs today and get your simulator. We are just under 30 seconds, and it looks like a lot of drivers have turned their qualifying lap here, and it looks like James Skelton, Max Terrell, Jason Wells, Ethan Troutman, and Sean Single currently are your provisional top 5 drivers here. And it looks like we can officially announce that James Skelton will pick up the pole award here tonight. No other drivers will get a qualifying time in. Race fans, are you ready to go racing here tonight at Bristol? Because it is the Granny Hips Buckley Walkers and Canes 175. Let's go down trackside to get our starting lineup, which is brought to us by the Green Forest Tree Supply. Springtime's coming. You need some new trees, race fans. That's right. Head on over to the Green Forest Tree Supply today. This is your starting lineup. James Skelton will roll off P number 1 with Max Terrell to the outside of him. Driving the Alienware 64, this is Jason Wells. He'll roll off 3rd tonight. 4th will go to the driver of the number 62. This will be Ethan Troutman. Starting in 5th out of Ayer, Massachusetts, driving the number 11 Scooby-Doo machine here tonight, this is Sean Single. Chris Hammond, highest starting rookie this season that has a chance to get themselves into the Final 4. Chris Hammond will roll off 6th. 7th will go to the 51 of DJ Anderson. You see he's in green here tonight. That means he is moving on to race for a championship. Tim Combs is driving the 17 here tonight. And Joe Strano in the Green Forest Tree Supply. Number 43 will go 9th. 10th will go to old Granny Hips himself, driving the number 2 here tonight. It is Joshua Buckley. Starting in the 11th position, hailing out of Pennsylvania, driving the Renaissance Nutrition number 84, this is Christopher Rothrock. Starting in position number 12, driving the Strano Brothers number 3, this is Tony Strano. Starting 13th on the grid, it's the Higgins Hill Racing Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 40 of Rob Higgins. To his outside, the driver out of Georgia, driving the Simbox Motorsports number 77, this is Doug Neal. Out of Oklahoma, driving the 919, this is Travis Yeet Minto. His outside, also hailing out of Oklahoma, it's the Norman, Oklahoma stable drivers. It's the number 5 of Brandon Yeet Minto. Starting in the 17th position, driving the 999, it's the RPM Motorsports, Mark Jenkins. Starting in the 18th position, driving the number 4 out of New England, this will be Jeffrey Souza. Starting in the 19th position, hailing north of the border, it's the Canadian resident, the K1 Graphics Liquid Motley number 938, this is Brandon Feeney. Hailing out of Australia, it's the Aussie, it's the 184, Kevin O'Brien. Bob Higgins got the Checkered Flag Auto Supply number 941 scheduled to go 21st. Ryan O'Donnell in the Full Throttle Turbo Dork Radical Paints number 98 will be 22nd on the grid, and that is your starting lineup here tonight for the Granny Hips Buckley Walkers and Kane 175. Race fans, wherever you're tuning in from here tonight, we welcome you to the Bristol Motor Speedway tonight here on the Mercury Racing Network. It is the final chance to get yourself in to the Final 4. We'll go racing 175 laps on the docket here tonight. iRacing.com pace car. This time by will make the left-hand turn. And we're getting ready to go racing as the green flag is out here tonight. 175 laps the distance for the Granny Hips Walkers and Canes. Great start by that front duel as they go down the back straightaway. It's the outside Slim Jim, number 86 of Terriol. He'll have the momentum. He'll lead. Actually, it's James Skelton. He'll have the momentum and take the lead on the front straightaway. The outside lane. A lot of drivers said that's going to be where the groove comes in here tonight. And James Skelton goes straight to the top side of the speedway. Maybe 1 or 2 laps down on that bottom side, and everybody's going to start to migrate themselves up to the front. Top of the speedway to get to the front. See you. Front running drivers right now have all single filed themselves out. You got to go back here to this battle. There you see behind Tim Combs, that's Josh Buckley and Joe Strano back there. They are currently battling for the 9th position just to stay inside the top 10, because here comes the number 3 of Tony Strano battling to the outside of the Victory Junction number 3. He's trying to get around his brother. It's the Strano Brothers Racing Stables battle for the top 10. Joe Strano and the Green Forest Tree Supply is just stuck down to the bottom side of the speedway right now. Cannot seem to find his way to the top shelf. There goes the 84, the Renaissance Nutrition 84 of Christopher Rothrock. Oh, a big moment there for the 77 of Doug Neal. You just caught that in the picture frame there. It looked like for a moment that 77 was just going to go straight to the outside wall. Doug Neal was able to dial in a little bit of that brake bias on that sim box and hold it onto the concrete off the concrete wall. Little check up in the middle of the corner there for 3 of Tony Strano. Had to back off the gas with the Renaissance Nutrition 84. Tony Strano going to go to the bottom side of the speedway as he is off pace. It looks like there goes Rothrock. There goes Joe Strano. He'll now take back that spot. Battling toward the front of the field here. There you see the 62. That is Ethan Troutman here tonight in that Office Depot number 62. He'll get around the 64 of Wells, who's down to the inside of the speedway in his alien wear, number 64. Sean Single also working the outside of the speedway. There you see the driver out of Ayer, Massachusetts, the Rep Esports driver. Picking one up. Looks like a late entry here. One driver did not take to the grid tonight. That was Ryan O'Donnell, and it looks like he possibly was out of pit road there for a brief moment. Driver out of Michigan. All drivers right now chasing the Slim Jim number 86 of James Skelton. You see him out front. He has led since the drop of the green flag. He qualified on the pole here tonight, but boy does he have a mirror full. There you see Ryan O'Donnell down on the apron. He's coming out on the racetrack now. Everybody to the high side. Here comes Max Tyrrell. He'll take a peek to the inside off of turn number 4. Not going to have it at the line, but now he'll be a little bit ahead. Now he's going to rock it off corner number 2. New race leader here on lap number 13. It'll be the Storm from the north coming blowing in. It's going to be Max Tyrrell. And look at the battle back there for that third position. Troutman trying a little bit different line there, and Sean Single was like, well, if you're going to leave a little bit of a groove up here, I'm going to see if I can stick the nose of this Mustang in there. That's exactly what he's going to do. Troutman goes to the bottom of the speedway. He bites on that. He saw Max Tyrrell be able to do it, but he's not going to do it. He's going to lose 2 spots, 1 lap. Possibly going to be 3, because here comes Chris Hammett, the Wiley veteran. It's a rookie, though, for him this season here with the RV Custom Rig Scrambler Series for Red Light Racing. Hammett in that Valvoline, that beautiful-looking Mark Martin throwback ski. Every time we get the NASCAR Cup cars out, it's great to see Chris Hammett throwing back to one of the icons in the NASCAR series. That's back when it was the NASCAR Winston Cup series, of course. But right now, Chris Hammett's going to pick up that 5th spot. A little bit of battle back here. This driver, Tony Strano, has been on the downward slide as that's the southwest entry. The driver out of Norman, Oklahoma. That's the 919 of Travis Minto. There you see him on the inside of the speedway. Looks like that's the 40 of Rob Higgins. Sideways for Minto. Minto is sideways. There you see Ryan O'Donnell. His Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry is a little bit down off the timing and scoring. You got to go all the way down to the 22nd position to find Ryan O'Donnell tonight driving that 4D Glasses paint scheme. Beautiful looking Turbo Dork Radical Paints entry. The driver out of Canton, Michigan. He was in the championship playoffs and then got eliminated last round and now having some computer issues, which is what puts him behind the 8 ball here tonight. There you're watching. That is Brandon Feeney trying to get around the number 40. Got to be very cautious here. The concrete very slippery. That's why we tried to get them to go run Bristol at dirt. But they wouldn't do it, race fans. They wouldn't do it. But good news is they're going to give it a whirl in the offseason. As you do see, that 938 of Feeney is going to be able to make that pass. And then Ryan O'Donnell is going to go right around. And it's not a battle for position, but right now Ryan's going to get one step farther away from this man. That's the 42 of Max Tyrrell, who is the race leader. These two are battling back here. Here's the number 2 of Joshua Buckley in that Granny Hips, Walkers and Canes entry. Joshua Buckley picking up a spot. There's Jason Wells. He'll pick up a spot also, bumping the number 62 of Troutman a couple spots back there. So now he's back to running 9th. Final driver inside the top 10 right now is that sim box number 77 of Doug Neal. Of course, this is Doug Neal's sophomore season here with Red Light Racing. Right now, he's running inside the top 10. I believe that was the 941 of Bob Higgins in his Valvoline throwback entry. driver. Oh, boy, side by side. That was DJ Anderson. He's already got a win, so there's nothing to lose here tonight for this driver out of Virginia. DJ Anderson can go all out here tonight as, boy, they were 3 wide for a moment. 3 wide at the Bristol Motor Speedway doesn't always pay off, but if you're willing to risk it for the biscuit, you never know what's going to happen. So DJ Anderson does pick up that spot. See if he can go run down James Skelton. Right now, your race leader. Oh, contact with the race leader. Caution flag on the speedway. Looked like lap traffic, and the race leader got into it. I think also the 86 of James Skelton also getting involved. Also hearing Chris Hammett's going to get a piece of this in the 906 entry. Oh boy, let's go back. There we already see the wreck has already happened. There's the 42 of Max Terrell. Oh, something happened with Tony Strano. Looks like him and Kevin O'Brien possibly come together down here. Oh, Strano into the wall. O'Brien was just minding his own P's and Q's down to the inside, and the race leader of Max Terrell nowhere to go on that. Right on board with Max Terrell here, watching the cars out in front of him. Oh boy. Talk about something that might have championship implications on that one. James Skelton, I think, also caught a piece of this, and that's Slim Jim 86, the Need for Speed Motorsports driver. He's also not locked in to a spot. Look at him. Oh, he actually just slides to avoid. He slid to avoid all that. Looks like everybody has come down pit road, at least for fuel here and maybe some right side tires. After a couple cars involved in that incident, it looks like the vehicles involved were the number 3 of Tony Strano. Also is going to be Kevin O'Brien, Max Terrell involved. Also, the 906 of Chris Hammett, who actually spent a little while down on pit road to see if he could get some of that service on that car to get the damage fixed. Chris Hammett going to fall all the way back outside the top 10. One of those championship drivers. Also DJ Anderson down on pit road with the number 51. There we see DJ Anderson. He also caught a piece of that. It's Bristol, baby. There's just nowhere to go when a car gets sideways on this racetrack. Max Terrell thought that car was going to go down the speedway with the banking here the way it is. Unfortunately, did not go down the banking, and drivers got caught up in a little bit of that scuffle. So take a look at the new updated running order here. When we go back racing, it'll be Max Terrell, James Skelton, Sean Single, Tim Combs. It'll be the 64 of Wells then in 5th. Buckley is going to restart in 6th with Doug Neal in 7th. Ethan Troutman in 8th. Christopher Rothrock and Joe Strano rounding out the top 10 cars. Looks like Tony Strano is down on pit road right now with his number 3. We'll see if he can get back out and claim some points here before the end of this one. Caution, flag number 1 is just about to end here as we get ready to go back racing. Max Terrell going to take the outside lane here. See how much damage is really done to that 42. James Skelton going to jump straight to the outside lane. Sean Single trying to work the outside to get around the 64 of Wells. That's 2 drivers that are not officially locked in tonight. As Single's going to bounce it off the wall. Scooby-Doo, where are you? And big stack up going down into the corner. Sean Single going to get a piece of that with Rothrock and Doug Neal. Sean Single's going to hang on to the Scooby-Doo. Oh boy, Scooby is going to need some Scooby snacks after that. Now Sean Single's going to need some of them Scooby snacks to try and dig towards the front of this field, because now he's back outside running in that 10th position. If the race were to end right now, Sean Single would be on the outside looking in. Wells has officially leapfrogged him for that final spot in the championship 4, as he is running 4th right now. Battle for the race lead. Skelton trying the inside lane, not going to have anything down there. He'll go back to the top side of the speedway, running in that 2nd position. He'll keep that 2nd spot, as Tim Combs is a little bit farther back there. You see that chromed out number 17, the SRT Hellcat Chevrolet. As Tony Strano actually continues to sit on pit road, Ryan O'Donnell just picks up that position, number 21, bumping Tony Strano back to 22nd on the running order. There you see 1 through 4 in that picture, and look who's running back in 5th. It's the old Granny Hits himself. Brand new paint scheme on this number 2 here tonight. I guess we can really call that the Blue Deuce tonight for Granny Hits. We got to thank Josh Buckley and his Twitch name. Of course, you can find him over on Twitch and on YouTube, streaming, putting clips up there of his video gaming. Check that out at Granny Hips Buckley. Cool little logo Ryan O'Donnell made up for Josh Buckley. We even sent him some stickers just a little while back. So if you want a sticker, go ahead and hit up Josh Buckley. Max Terrell, though, still continuing to set the blistering pace. That's your Mechanics Advisor onboard camera footage here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Mark Jenkins starting to make his name known here tonight as he rides the outside lane. The Jenkins Construction LLC machine. Came in this season as a rookie, and we've seen some flashes of brilliance. And I believe it was either him or Rob, was it last week or 2 weeks ago, that found the tire barrier and got stuck. But tonight, moving up 10 spots. He is the biggest mover. One of them down to the inside there. Not sure who that was. It looks like that was Bob Higgins actually spinning in the Checkered Flag Auto Supply of Abilene. 941. Looks like we're stay green flag racing, as he did get off the speedway. Top 3 drivers are championship drivers. It's Terriel, it's Skelton, it's Wells, then it's Buckley and Combs. Combs dropping back there in that Hellcat Chevrolet. I'm not quite sure what motor he actually has in that. I'm sure Chevrolet did not let him put a Dodge motor. I'm sure NASCAR would not have let him put that Hellcat motor in there, but we're checking and see if he gets torn down on post-race. Only 50 laps in, we'll see if that Dodge can even make it the whole way. Of course, there's Ethan Troutman also in that Office Depot entry. Ethan Troutman, of course, having 3 wins to his name in his Red Light Scrambler Series career. Made the Final Four a couple times. Oh, big moment there as everybody tries to get around the 4 of Jeffrey Souza. Souza, of course, working the outside of the speedway there, is currently 1 lap down. Mark Jenkins will be able to clear the number 4. Max Terrell still holding James Skelton at bay, along with Jason Wells. Wells is not going to let these drivers run away and hide. Lap 54. We did make our yellow flag pit stops back on lap number 29. So these drivers should be able to go about, call it 80 laps on fuel. I think my rough estimate calculation is here tonight. So we won't need to see pit stops for a while, but the tires here tonight are going to be a big thing. If one of these drivers come to pit road, the question being, do you follow suit and go to pit road also? It's going to be something we're going to have to watch. Ryan O'Donnell picking up a spot here as Bob Higgins is still down on pit road. Tony Strano's still down on pit road. Now it looks like DJ Anderson is going to become the first car one lap down. So the driver that's already locked into the next round of the playoffs, he'll race for a championship next week at the Texas Motor Speedway. Finds himself a little bit down, but he likes to be challenged. And right now, this is probably going to be one of the most challenging races he has had all year. Trying to come back from damage on his 51 early. Here's, Rothrock into the outside wall, and DJ Anderson has to slow up. As he slows up, look at this. This is just one big gaggle of cars. That's the number 5 of Brandon Minto. Minto's on the lead lap, battling with the 84 Rothrock. Everybody that's behind him right now, those first 2 cars anyway, the 98 and the 51, they are laps down. The 77 of Doug Neal, he's trying to get around these lapped cars to go up there and battle with Minto and Rothrock. Rothrock right now riding the rim here, and they're going to go 3 wide at Bristol down the front straightaway. 3 wide. DJ Anderson for the second time here tonight has gone 3 wide, and he'll now, he'll pick up that position for the time being. Or not position, but at least a little bit farther around these cars. Looks like Joshua Buckley's having some handling issues in that number 2. There you see him and the Granny Hits Walkers and Canes machine. I'm sure if you're out there listening, race fans, and you're wondering what the heck is Granny Hips, Buckley, Walkers, and Canes, well, it was a joke originally by the whole group here at Red Light Racing. Of course, Brandon Feeney saying that Buckley needs walkers and some canes to get around the house with his hips and his back. And, well, just a running joke that turned into something that was a little more than just a running joke. And now Buckley has himself a Twitch and a YouTube stream. Of course, he records everything and then goes back and edits it out. You can find that over on YouTube and Twitch. Right now, old Granny Hits is sitting in 7th. Lost a couple spots here. He was high as running 4th at one point here tonight. Troutman and Jenkins are side-by-side racing just ahead of Buckley. They got 3 cars here, 4th, 5th. It's actually 5th, 6th, 7th if I can read the timing and scoring right. I promise I can read in advance. Right now that's Mark Jenkins. That's actually going to be his 12th position if he can clear the number 62 of Ethan Troutman right now. That would be his 12th spot picked off here tonight. Nobody else is into that double digits as he can't complete the pass. Troutman gets right back underneath him and gets back to the high lane. That's going to let Buckley right there closing in. There's Chris Hammond. He's coming back through the field after he had to spend a long time down on pit road. Buckley going to try and diamond it off and get around the 999 of Mark Jenkins. Slide job, maybe. Slide up. Not going to actually even need to do it. Buckley gets around. DJ Anderson getting around Rob Higgins to pick up the 16th position also as they work a lap down through traffic. Your race leader really getting into lap traffic now. Right on board with Max Terriel here as he comes up on the 43 of Joe Strano. Strano going to go to the bottom side there as you see the other Strano Brothers racing car come out of pit road. Tony Strano, after spending 13 minutes down on pit road, he'll come back out here tonight. He'll be running into the 22nd spot. Couple of drivers that have been to pit road here. Brandon Feeney came down on lap number 56. And of course, Tony Strano still trying to find out how to get out of pit road, I think. Still working the bottom. Looks like he's going to bring it back in, actually. Car not quite up to snuff. Crew sent him out there, but it's not quite ready. Chris Hammett riding right up on the back end there of that Jenkins construction. 999s. Mark Jenkins going to lose another spot here to the 906 of Chris Hammett. So Chris Hammett picks up that 7th spot. Christopher Rothrock looks like he is down pit road in the Renaissance Nutrition number 84. He is. So he'll get his 4 tires and fuel. See if he can ride out for a little bit. Looks like Rob Higgins also coming to pit road. Now Doug Neal's coming down in the sim box entry. I told you, you're going to need tires way before you need fuel here tonight. Looks like Mark Jenkins has called it quits as this is your race leader of Max Terrell. He has opened up call it a second at this point over James Skelton. Wells has fallen back about 2 seconds back from that also. Max Terrell will work upon the number 5 of Brandon Minto. The Yeater will go to the bottom side. We'll let the outside lane for Max Terrell, and he'll go a lap down. So it'll be Brandon Minto, first car, 1 lap down. Closing in on that halfway point home here tonight, race fans. And as we close in, we got to thank you for tuning in here tonight on the Turn 3 Racing Network to watch the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. These drivers putting on one whale of a show here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway for you. It is daytime racing at Bristol. The lights aren't even on here as, well, they say during the day puts on some better racing. I told them, yes, the daytime puts on some good racing, but you know what else puts on good racing? Bristol dirt. Just saying. Just saying. One day we're going to get it, race fans. Tim Combs has worked his way back up to 4th with his Hellcat. Closing in on the back of Jason Wells. Last time by, your race leader, Max Terrell, still one of the fastest cars on the speedway. Of course, it looks like Mark Jenkins has been to pit road. He's about a half a second faster on those fresher tires. See if that pays off in the long run. Next driver, that would be on the chopping block for your race leader. And, well, there's only one car separating him. As this is the number 11 of Sean Single. Here you see the 84, Renaissance Nutrition 84. Well, that's Rothrock, and Rothrock has fresher tires. He just came out of pit road a couple laps ago. So he'll just rock it around the inside. Scooby going front row. Maybe that's actually Shaggy driving that number 11 here tonight. Single, regardless, goes to the inside of the speedway. He knows Max Terrell is coming. That'll be Sean Single going a lap down, running in the 8th spot, only leaving 7 cars here on the lead lap. Long run here. We've been green flag racing since lap number 32. As we are 2 laps away from halfway. There you see the 40 caution lights on the speedway as Joe Strano has turned the Green Forest Tree Supply entry around, and he'll actually take the tow to pit road. So Joe Strano bringing out the second caution flag of the evening, and they're going to have a lot of cars to fix back at the Strano Brothers Racing Stables entries back at the garage, because Tony Strano was caught up in the first wreck, and now Joe Strano. What happened? Let's go back and watch it. Oh, not quite sure what happened there. He goes down to the corner, and Doug Neal looks like he was just shot out of a cannon. Right on board with Shreddo. Let's hear it. Oh, wow. It seems like maybe a tire went down on the 43 entry. Something happened to that 43 going into the corner. Watch, he goes in, and then all of a sudden it starts pushing. You can tell he had the wheel cocked all the way left, and it just went straight. Helmet camera from Joe Strano. Look at it, it's cocked, and nowhere to go for that 77 of Doug Neal. Right on board with Doug Neal. There's nowhere Neal was going to go on that one. Caution lights come on. See Strano down on pit road, and there's a lot of damage, nose damage done to the Green Forest tree supply entry. A lot of rear end damage also. All drivers did come back down to pit road, and that's your running order on the left-hand side of the screen here, just after the halfway point home tonight. It's Max Terriel, James Skelton, Tim Combs, Jason Wells, Ethan Troutman, Chris Hammett, Joshua Buckley, Sean Single, Brandon Minto, Travis Minto, your top 10. Only 8 drivers left on the lead lap. Sean Single was our lucky dog here, so he'll actually start at the tail end of the longest line. A couple cars going to take that wave around, it looks like, to try and see if they can get back on the lead lap. Or get at least a lap back. Rothrock going to take one of those, and it looks like, I believe that's the Tony Strano entry and Brandon Feeney. So that'll put Feeney 2 laps down. Rothrock now just 1 lap down. Go back racing. Going to be 90 laps officially completed here tonight in the Granny Hips, Buckley, Walkers, and Kane 175 from Bristol Motor Speedway. Max Terriel going to take the outside lane here. Everybody's got to wait for the green flag, and it's back up, and we're racing again. A little bit of a wheel spin somewhere back there. That's the 4 of Souza. Souza spins the tires, and it stacks everybody up. It stacked him up, but he was able to hang on to it. Of course, he did just come down pit road right as that caution flag came out. Everybody still chasing Max Terriel. He takes the race lead command again. Wells was all over the back there of that 86 of James Skelton that time, but he's not able to clear and make the pass, so it's going to be Terriel, Skelton, Wells, your top 3. Tim Combs is sitting right back here. Chris Hammett rounds out the top 5. And how about Josh Buckley? Just been hanging around all night long. He said if he had a chance, it's going to be right here tonight at Bristol, and Buckley doing exactly what he needs to do to have a good points finish here tonight. It may not have been the season so far for Josh Buckley, but there's never a better place than right here at the Bristol Motor Speedway to go ahead and finish, well, inside the top 10 at least. He would love another top 5. He podiumed a couple weeks ago at the Talladega Super Speedway back when we had the 1987 Winston Cup machines out on track, so possibly tonight. Is it another roll of the dice to get onto the podium for Buckley? We'll find out. Right now, everybody has really just gone into that single file formation. They know we're halfway home, but we're not quite to the point where it's time to start making those big moves, and everybody just rolling along. And as they roll along, what do you think, race fans? We can get our producer over there to turn it up a little bit. Nothing better than the sights and the sounds around the last great Coliseum here tonight for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, presented by Red Light Racing. It's the Granny Hips Buckley Walkers and Kane 175, and we are over the halfway home point here tonight, as that is the battle for the race lead. It has been dominated so far here tonight by Max Terriot. James Skelton has ran, well, second majority of the night, but will James be able to snap off a piece of that Slim Jim that Max Terriot is just dangling out in front of him here tonight? Will he be able to go up there and steal the victory here? Remember, Skelton came in just 2 points to the good over Jason Wells, and Wells is sitting there running in that third spot. DJ Anderson is locked in right now. If we were to throw the checkered flag on this event, it would be DJ Anderson, Max Terriot locking in on wins. Then it would be James Skelton and Jason Wells who would make it to the next round and race for a championship. But the lucky thing for all you race fans that are tuning in here tonight, the race ain't over. We got plenty more to go. Race leaders, lap traffic. Race leader in lap traffic, and they're going to go 3 wide as James Skelton comes off the apron. Skelton, oh boy, contact. Mark Jenkins made contact with the 42, and Skelton there, and that's going to knock Max Terriot back to running third as Wells gets on by for that second position. New race leader here now as James Skelton, well, I shouldn't say new race leader. James Skelton led the first couple of laps before Max Terriot went and took the race lead from him. That could have been very dangerous. Let's see if we can go back here and watch this right here unfold. Watch it down the back straightaway. Mark Jenkins right in the high lane there. Max goes to the inside, but James goes down there and 3 wide as Skelton comes off the bottom of the raceway. Max gets trapped to that outside. Skelton goes down below, but he comes off the inside. Max has to kind of move up a little bit, but there was just nowhere to go. Mark Jenkins was to the outside already in that 999s as he slaps the inside wall, but the green flag stays out. Green flag stays out, and now there's the front 3. The 86 of Skelton, the 64 of Wells, and the 42 of Max Terriot. "119 laps officially complete, and you can see some rear damage on the 86 of James Skelton. Now that's where Max Terriot was. Max Terriot and Mark Jenkins made the contact with that 86, where all drivers are able to continue. So now, can Max get back around the 64 of Wells and then go run back down James Skelton? Of course, Max Terriot, the second most winning driver in Red Light Scrambler Series history. It looks like he has 27 wins according to my count. I had to take my shoes off and then reuse a couple of my fingers to get to 27. While looking back through the stats here over the last couple of days. Right now, Max will make that position swap with Wells, bumping Wells back to third. It would still be Wells in as the 4th car. DJ Anderson, James Skelton, Max Terriot, and Jason Wells are currently your drivers inside that cut line to go racing for a championship. Talk about DJ Anderson. He's back here running in 9th, 1 lap down. Right now, jumping over that little bit of a build-up right there. That's going to be DJ Anderson getting up into the outside wall. That Toyota, race fans, I can tell you right now, won't see the track again. After Bristol, DJ Anderson is probably going to throw this car into the scrap yard. You'll be able to find it over at Dale Jr.'s graveyard, I'm sure. I don't even think they'd be able to make a die-cast version of this car after it's been beaten and banged here tonight. Not sure who's been into the back bumper of this 51, but boy, they took a chunk out of that one. Max Terriot is starting to close that race lead. Up into the wall a little bit there. Of course, use the right fender up. If you have it, use it. Not going to need it anymore after this one. See, 2 different lines down there in 3 and 4 being used by your front 2 drivers. Skelton right up against the wall that time. Drivers on pit road. Christopher Rothrock just finished up on pit road on lap number 124. Looks like Mark Jenkins is back out on, or is not back out onto the speedway, but he did pit back on lap number 115. Now it is a 2-horse race once again. The Toyota of Skelton and the Ford of Max Tyrrell. Look at this. It looks like James Skelton's just going to let Max go right back to the race lead. So now Max Tyrrell going to pick up right where he left off as your race leader. Wells has fallen back a little bit from this group, gone about 1.5 seconds off the front pace. Right now with Chris Hammett there running in 4th. He's doing exactly what he needed to do. But when you come in behind the 8 ball already, as he was, it looks like 13 points is actually what it was behind James Skelton coming into the night. You need to have almost a perfect night or have some drivers ahead of you really start to have issues. And the only driver that has had an issue out in front of the 906 of Chris Hammett was Sean Single, and Single's actually back to running into the 7th spot right now after that caution flag. There you see the Scooby-Doo number 11, the driver out of Bayard, Massachusetts, running ahead of his counterpart up north there of Joshua Buckley, who's just behind him, running in that 8th spot. Well, Granny Hip still giving it a whirl, race fans. He's hanging around and hanging around. We'll see if he can pick up that spot yet. He doesn't have far to go. He could go up there and still run inside the top 5, but man, what about DJ Anderson? We talked about the crinkled up machine. Now he's up to 9th. A lap down, running 9th. First car, 1 lap down. He needs to keep Josh Buckley in his sights, because if Buckley goes a lap down, that would be a spot that he needs to go get. You want to stay on the lead lap, or at least be the first car 1 lap down. Looks like Max Tyrrell now starting to open up the gap. Looks like Rob Higgins has been to pit road. Oh, caution, lights on, and your race leader had to dodge that one again. Travis Minto. Max Tyrrell and is having a rough go of it. I don't know if there's a magnet on his car or what here tonight. A target. Everybody has pretty much been pointed at the 42 tonight. Let's look back. What happened to one of the Yeatsters? Not sure what happened to the 919. Just lost power right on board with Travis Minto. You can hear it. It sounds like it just loses power or something, and then not quite sure as we come back live here. Pit stops happening. Wait for the race off pit road as right sides are going on. Left sides are now going on everybody's car. Down and away goes the 42. It'll be Max Tyrrell, James Skelton, and Chris Hammett, Jason Wells, and Ethan Troutman. Your top 5 drivers off of pit road. 1 driver staying out, as he was the lucky dog, and that's going to be DJ Anderson. He'll now finally come to pit road, and he'll get his 4 tires, not a cycle the timing, and scoring back to Max Tyrrell as your race leader. So that's our 3rd caution flag of the evening here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway for the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series presented by Red Light Racing. Of course, Granny Hibbs Buckley, Walkers and Canes, the sponsor here tonight. A couple drivers having a rough go of it here tonight. Tony Strano, Bob Higgins, Joe Strano, Doug Neal. Looks like Brandon Feeney and Mark Jenkins all have called it a night tonight here at Bristol. or a day, I should say, here in the virtual world of Bristol Motor Speedway. With the end of the season coming, race fans, here in just a couple of weeks, as next week is our season finale on Monday night. Of course, you'll be able to catch more of the SK Modified division racing here on Thursday nights for, well, we're about a quarter of the way into that season, so a long way to go before we can crown a champion over there. So you'll be able to catch more red light racing on Thursdays after our Monday program is over. But it'll be back in a couple of weeks. I believe it's a 4-week off season for at least us here in the booth, so we'll be able to be back here behind the microphone on the air, we should say, to bring you more of the red light racing action that all you race fans love on Monday evenings. We'll start at Daytona, of course, and then travel and wind our way through the country, winding up at the Phoenix International Raceway for the season finale next year. A lot of changes coming for next year, as we're going to see the 1987 Winston Cup car back out a couple times. I believe it gets an extra date next year. Of course, all those details coming in the next couple of days. You'll be able to catch that over on redlightracing.net or follow them on Facebook at Red Light Racing. Caution lights are out. That means next time by, or, well, now it's this time by, as we looked back down at the speedway as they assembled 2x2 last time. This time we go green flag. It'll be a 143 laps completed out of the 175 that the distance is here tonight. One of them sideways off the jump there. That was the 84 of Rothrock. Rothrock got sideways, but James Skelton was able to scoot on by for the race lead. Here comes the 42 of Max Theriault. Maybe he's trying to save a little bit here in the early stage, or maybe he's down on power, because here comes the 64 of Jason Wells. Wells will get by. Looks like the 42 is down on power. The 42 of Max Theriault, who dominated this race here, down on power here in the late stages of this one. Everybody to the outside, freight training. The 42 of Theriault. He came in as the driver that was sitting second overall in the points championship. Now having a rough go of it. Chris Hammock gonna try and scoot to the outside. That 906 got one whale of a shot going into the corner by the 51 of DJ Anderson. Anderson really had to hit the hooks to let Chris Hammond have the spot. Max Theriault's going to go from leading all the way back to ninth in just 3 laps back to green flag. We'll have to wait to see where all the points are going to shake for that one, because Sean Single, who was third, that will leapfrog Sean Single into second in the championship standings, with James Skelton actually being third. And right now, the way the math works out, Max Theriault, who dominated this season, picking up 4 wins, is on the outside looking in at a championship berth to that Final 4. He would need something to happen at this point, because James Skelton is rolling away here. Wells is keeping, kind of right there, about a 2.5 maybe car length as he'll close in as James Skelton up into the outside wall. Sparks are going to fly. Sean Single is hanging on there just a half a second back from Wells. Currently, your top 3 drivers all not locked in, trying to advance to the championship. Couple spoilers, though. What kind of night would it be if the 17 of Tim Combs was able to come up here and park in victory lane? Right now, your top 5 has 2 out of the 5 drivers have never won with red light racing. So with 23 laps to go, the laps are gonna click off. Before we know it, the checkered flag will be flying here tonight. As the 42 of Max Theriault's still out here, but the car is very wounded. Last time by about, about 0.7 of a second slower on the speed charts. There's the race leader. That shows you how far back Max has fallen. 20 to go this time by as James Skelton extends his race lead over Jason Wells. Half a second at the front of this one. No side-by-side battles right now, as everybody trying to limp it home here tonight. Tim Combs a little out of shape in the 17. That Hell Kitty has just too much power. Oh, he'll overstep and hit the wall. He's able to hang on to it, but he's going to pancake more of that right-hand side of the Hell Kitty. Just out ahead of him, Sean Single just did the same thing one lap later. Chris Hammett side by side. That's the 4 of Souza. Of course, that's not a battle for position. Souza's back into the 12th spot, a couple laps behind. Rothrock is battling with that number 4. Both on the same set of tires. Souza got to go to the inside here for a moment. Not sure if he's trying. He is trying to get around the 906 of Chris Hammett, but that'll leave the outside open if Rothrock wanted it. Battle inside your top 10. Here comes old Granny Hips to the outside. He'll get around Ethan Troutman that time. Now Joshua Buckley will pick up that 5th spot. His 5th spot gain, running now 5th. Racing School also riding on board the number 2 of Joshua Buckley. I heard that's coming up here in a couple of weeks. I believe it was April the 17th. A lot of the red light racers are going to head on over to the Racing School at the Thompson Speedway. Pretty cool little event that they're going to have there. If you're interested in heading to the Thompson Speedway, make sure you contact Josh Buckley to get all the details on that weekend's event. A lot of red light racing members and family members also getting to go to the Thompson Racing School, or the Racing School at the Thompson Speedway, we should say. 12 laps to go. There's your race leader. He's opened it up about a second and a half just about. Nobody behind him putting the pressure on. Of course, you see all the damage done to that right rear. Gets real close to that outside wall. Pretty much just skimming the wall here tonight at Bristol as it's the double high 5. 10 laps to go here tonight to try and punch his ticket to the next round of the playoffs. It's only 5 miles of racing, 10 laps around. Now it's 9. Tim Combs all over the back end, though, with this number 11 of Sean Single, who's all over the back end of the 64 of Wells. Right now, these drivers got to drive with their head on tight because they know what's on the line. A championship berth to race for a championship in that final 4. Skelton, if he wins this one, he's obviously going to lock himself in with DJ Anderson, and then it's going to leave 2 positions, and it's going to go to the highest 2 position drivers here tonight that do not have wins, and that could be Wells and Single as we close in. If they just finish in those spots, contact though at Bristol. It's going to put Jason Wells into the outside wall. He's going to lose 1, 2, 3 spots. Wells back to now running 5th. That's going to put him, I think, 1 point ahead of Max Terriel. He's going to have to get on the high horse here. Now Wells is going to have to go back on the offensive with just 5 laps to go. It's the Hi, how are you lap from the flagman. 5 laps to go. Right now, either Jason Wells needs Brandon Minto to be his best friend, which would be to go up there and pass the 42 of Max Terriel, or Jason Wells has to go up there and pass old Granny Hips, who now is running in that 4th position. Tim Combs is running in that 3rd spot with the SRT Hell Kitty 17. 4 laps to go, and everybody is chasing this man right here. He is boot scooting boogied himself to a 3.5 second race lead with 3 laps to go. This time by, when he hits the start-finish line, the popsicle sticks go up. It is 2 laps to go. 2 laps to go at Bristol. James Skelton trying to come back around here to get the white flag and then trying to just drive 1 more lap here tonight. It'll be the final lap tonight, presented by the checkered flag auto supply. 1 lap to go here at Bristol. 1 lap to go, and if James Skelton can come back around here, he'll not only lock himself into the championship 4, which he will do as he lurks off of turn number 4. He'll pick up his 15th career win with the Scrambler Series, tying Tim Blum as James Skelton wins tonight here at Bristol. Sean Single will be in second with Tim Combs in third. Josh Buckley will finish fourth, and Jason Wells finishes fifth. We'll have to wait for the confirmation on that one here tonight, see if Wells is going to make it into the championship four. We know Skelton, DJ Anderson officially are locked in here tonight. Sixth place here tonight is going to be the 62 of Ethan Troutman. Chris Hammett in seventh. DJ Anderson is eighth, and Max Terrill is ninth. Brandon Minto is 10th. Those are your unofficial top 10 drivers here tonight, as James Skelton is going to burn them down here tonight for the Granny Hips. Buckley, Walker, and Kane, 175. So as he parks it in victory lane, we're going to take a quick break here tonight, race fans. We're going to see if we can get you the official point standings after tonight to see who's going to lock themselves in and who is going to be sitting on the outside looking in at a championship. We'll be right back here to the Bristol Motor Speedway.
The most realistic online racing sim ever made. This is iRacing. Detailed laser scan tracks, fully dynamic, real-world cars, and over 50 series to choose from. 6 online world championships offering over $400,000 in annual prizes. This is the original esport racing game. This is iRacing.
Welcome back here, race fans, to the Bristol Motor Speedway. As you can see, 175 laps are completed tonight in the Granny Hips, Buckley, Walkers, and Kane. 175 here from the Bristol Motor Speedway as we get ready for your Renaissance Nutrition post-race show with your top 3 competitors. We know that DJ Anderson was going to race for a championship next week at the Texas Motor Speedway. We now know James Skelton will go also and join him. The question still remaining as we're waiting for confirmation is to see which one of the other drivers, the other 2 drivers that will be joining them. But first, we got to get through our interviews here tonight. Let's head down trackside to see who finishes third. It's the driver of the Hellcat SRT Chevy Camaro. All right, well, we're just asked the driver about it. Tim Combs, great run here tonight, but first we're going to start it off. What's with the paint job?
Well, you know, you've asked me this before with a truck series, and obviously, again, I'm a Dodge guy, and I thought the paint scheme looked pretty cool, and I found it, so I put it on.
Well, it's a great-looking car. We definitely were able to see you here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. But tell us about tonight's event here. This Hell Kitty was pretty quick, especially out there ripping the lip in the closing laps. You found yourself up towards the front of the field here tonight. Tell us about the eventful race here at Bristol.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty well. Yesterday, I did pretty well in the practice race, and I thought I had some speed. It's just so hard to pass people, especially since the high groove is, you know, the lane to be in. So once you get to the bottom, you're kind of getting freight trained. And I felt like I was pretty good on the long run. So I was getting around a lot of people on the long run, just getting beaten on the short run.
What more did you possibly need here out of this Hell Kitty Camaro to go up there and battle for the win with James Skelton?
Probably I pitted and took my damage that last pit stop. I probably should have took it for position. I would have restarted probably like 4th and probably gave it a shot. But I did start on the outside and kind of rode that all the way up to the front with Sean. And obviously he finished second. So, you know, we made out pretty well there.
Well, you came in as one of those drivers here tonight that was not racing for a championship, but you're going to finish on the podium and spoil some of these drivers. We'll call it momentum and points night here. Is there something about playing spoiler that gets you up in the morning?
No, I wish. No, I I've had a pretty good season so far, at least for my second season, and just missed out on the playoffs and whatnot. And I've had a couple top tens, getting a little better at this. All these guys are pretty good, so just learning a little more and more each week. And like I said, it's hard to compete with these guys.
Well, you did it here tonight. You're going to finish on the podium. Third place here tonight for you, Tim. Who do you got to thank here at Bristol?
Well, I gotta thank you, the admins. Obviously, congrats to everybody that's making it to the Final Four. And my wife's sitting right next to me, so I gotta thank her too.
There you hear it from your third place finisher tonight. He drives the 17. This is Tim Combs tonight, finishing in that third position here tonight at the Bristol Motor Speedway. Finishing in that second spot, it looks like it's going to be the driver of the number 11. And Shaggy, a great race from you here tonight, but tell us about that little adventure you took.
Oh, early in the race, that the restart, I thought I wasn't going to get into the wall, so I kind of blipped on the gas, and then I got into the wall, and then I was just losing it from there. I honestly thought I was out of it there. I thought I had lost my championship hopes, thought I lost the race.
Well, I can officially tell you here tonight, you did not lose your championship hope. Sean, congratulations. You will join James Skellin and DJ Anderson to race for a championship. How does that feel after battling here tonight at Bristol?
Honestly, it's such a cool feeling coming into my sophomore season to be able to do this, running with these guys. It's super, super tough, and I'm just super amped up right now. I'm wicked excited. I definitely need to apologize to Jason. I got into him with about 5 laps to go. I thought I had a little bit more room than I did, and obviously that's not the way I want to race around these guys. I like keeping it clean, so apologies to him.
Well, Sean, congratulations, though, on your podium here tonight, and congratulations on making the championship for who made this all possible this season.
Got to thank the guys down at Rev Esports again. Got to thank Platinum RV Services, Maconi Setup Shop, BK Paints. Got to thank my mom and dad. They're watching right now. I hope my dad's feeling a little bit better. Well, he's probably asleep by now. He's a little under the weather. Dan and Carrie right behind me. I got my guys that I play some games with on Thursday that I usually hang out with after the race. I'll thank them as well. And then obviously you and Josh for setting all this up, all the admins too.
There you hear from the driver who will finish second tonight. He will go racing for a championship for the first time ever in his red light racing career. Sean Single finishes on the podium. We'll see what he can do next week against, the driver that wins it here tonight, and this is James Skelton. James, congratulations as you're standing in victory lane for the 6th time this season. You have set the world on fire so far this season, but tell us about tonight here at Bristol.
Yeah, that was an ugly win. I just had to go back and watch the replay. I didn't see what happened between myself, Jenkins, and Max. I didn't know who was at fault on that, but I had damage. Max was definitely the best car. I have no clue what happened to him on that last restart. I thought I might get a black flag for passing him before the start-finish line, and then he just fell back. So I gotta talk to him or get some information to see what happened to him on that last run.
Well, regardless of what happened there, you were able to set sail then at that point and pretty much dominated the last, we'll call it the quarter of this race. This car was just wicked fast no matter what.
Yeah, it was decent. I'm glad you didn't see the practice race from yesterday because I was just god-awful. I think I qualified 10th out of 13 cars. I finished 8th. I couldn't keep the right front on it, so... we went back to the drawing board, did a little practicing today, and definitely made some improvements.
Oh, and don't worry, we were tuning in for that practice. We caught every moment of that. It was beautiful. But you turned things around for the better here. You will win. You pick up your 6th victory of the season. Can you really put yourself in this championship 4 and maybe at the top of that, the 4 drivers going in?
If Max is in, he's going to be the favorite, just because on the mile and a half. He's been better than me, and I've qualified just awful on the mile and a half. On one positive note, Texas, the new surface is one of my favorite mile and a half. It's all about 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is wide open. I don't know. Jason, he just keeps making some mistakes here and there, but I mean, I think he's a dark horse, and then Single has some really good speed, so I wouldn't say that I'm a favorite.
Well, you have your 6 wins. Your next closest competitor is Max Terrell, who has 4 wins. We're still waiting on all the points to be tallied up here. They're just finishing that up on the back end here. But, James, congratulations on picking up your 6th victory of the season. We'll look forward to talking to you next week at the Texas Motor Speedway, hopefully, when you pick up a championship, maybe for the first time ever, I believe. I was going back through the stat book. I'm not quite sure on that one yet.
I got one.
Well, there you go, race fans. He has one now. I'll just write that in the book. I don't have to go look that one up. James, who made this all possible here tonight at Bristol?
Yeah, well, I want to thank all you guys. Roger for putting the broadcast on. It'll probably be a really good one. Josh for all the hard work he does. He sponsored the race tonight, Old Granny Hips. He had a really good run tonight, so good for him. All the drivers for coming out. We got an awesome league. Without them, it wouldn't be possible. DJ, he really helped me out from last night. He told me on the steering ratio and brake bias of kind of where to adjust it, and it helped tremendously. And then Sean, I can't wait to get him back out there. Hopefully he's recovering well.
Well, there you hear it from James Skelton. Picks up his 6th win and punches his ticket into the Final 4. He will race for a championship. Question being, though, who will join him? Well, these are the 4 drivers that will race for a championship next week at the Texas Motor Speedway. James Skelton wins, punches his ticket. DJ Anderson wins and punches his ticket. Sean Single finishes 2nd. He will go playoff racing for a championship. And the final driver to make it into the championship 4 will be the 42 of Max Terrell. He will race for a championship. He is locked in by just 3 points over Jason Wells. That bump towards the end of the race for Wells when he was running in that 2nd position, it lost him 3 spots. That's the 3 points that he needed tonight to get in ahead of the 42 of Max Terrell. What a crazy race this was. Take a quick look here at your results here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. A crazy, wild one. Look at Josh Buckley able to finish in that 4th position. Wells, of course, that's a strong, solid top 5, but it's probably going to be a little bit disappointing for him to see the points championship and how they all tallied up at the end of this one. Chris Hammett there had a great run again. He'll be eliminated here tonight. Max Terrell falls back to 9th after dominating this whole race. He'll finish inside the top 10, though. Brandon Minto, the first car, 1 lap down in the 10th. And Kevin O'Brien, look at him having his best finish of the season. It's 11th for the Australian. Ryan O'Donnell, of course, kept in it here tonight, and he'll finish there in the, it looks like that's going to be scored the 15th position here tonight. So Ryan O'Donnell battles back from internet problems and computer problems to finish 15th. A couple drivers that had some issue. There's Jenkins and Feeney towards the bottom of that running order. And, of course, drivers that really had some problems. Bob Higgins and Tony Strano here tonight. Looks like, well, the concrete just got the best of them here at Bristol. That's your Renaissance Nutrition post-race show here from the Bristol Motor Speedway. Next week, we will head to the Texas Motor Speedway. We get the Xfinity cars out for the final time to go championship racing on April the 12th. 100 laps from the Texas Motor Speedway, race fans. We can't wait to see you when we get into Texas for the final race of the season. Till we see you in Texas, race fans, for everybody at the RB Custom Rig Scrambler Series, Red Light Racing, and, of course, Old Granny Hips himself. My name's Roger Muth with the Turn 3 Racing Network. We hope you enjoy this program, and we will see you in 7 days' time to crown a champion at Texas.